ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपादं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमतास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमतास्य पद्म पादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतम् पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः माया कल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतम् मायावेव विजृम्भयत्यभिमहायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये. The discussion has been बीजस्य अन्तः इव अंकुरः जगत् इदं प्राग् निर्विकल्पम्. Idam jagat prag nirvikalpam, unmanifest, before, meaning before the creation actually began, it was like bijasya ankuraha iva, bijasya anta ankuraha iva, like the sprout within the seed. Then Maya is the power of the Ishvaraha, which had made the names and forms, and thus the manifestation happened. This is accepted by most of the schools of philosophy. And it is Ishvaraha who is the Nimitta Karan, or in the Sankhyan philosophy, Purushaha is a Nimitta Karanam, Pradhanam is the Upadana Karanam. Pradhanam in Vedanta known as Maya Prakriti. Pradhanam cha purusham cha anadi. Sankhya yoge pradhanam cha purusham cha anadi anadau. They both are anadi, and therefore the help of pradhanam is necessary for purusha, who is the only a nimitta karan. As much as science also would consider the efficient cause independent of the material cause. Sankyans also believed material cause is independent of the efficient cause, because both of them are infinite by nature, always there. Now Vedanta's standpoint is Ishwarat Binnam na kinchid asti. Tasmad Advaitameva Atma Paramatma. Other than the Ishvaraha, there cannot be anything that exists. And therefore, the one without a second, in which case material cause also should be Ishvaraha. In the creation theory, therefore, 24 aspects are already narrated. And therefore, here we see Pauranikaha, they add 6 more to it, amounting to 30. As we saw in 40th verse, Bhutaihi panchabihi pranaihi chadurdashabihi indriyaihi chadurvimshati tattvani sankhya shastra vido viduhu. 24. Mahan kalaha pradhanam maya avidya purushaha iti Pauranikaha praguhu trimshat tattvani taihi saha. 30. 24 plus 6. Mahan Kalaha, Pradhanam, Maya, Avidya, Purusha. Now comes Shaiva Siddhanta. So they add some more to it. That is where we are stopped. We start from 42. Bindunadau Shakti Shivau Shantatito Tataparam Shatrim Shattvamithyuktam Shaiva Gamabhisharadaihi. Shaiva Agama, the Shaiva Siddhanta, they are those who add 6 more to it. Bindu, Nada, Shakti, Shiva, Shanta, and Atita. In this, Bindu, Nada, which we already know, we have already used in Guru Stotram also. Bindu, Nada, Kalatitaha, Tasmai, Sri Guravi Namaha. Chaitanya Shashvada Shanto Vyoma Tito Niranjana Bindu Nada. In this Bindu, what is this? Sarvadishtanam Sadashakti Rakyam Sadashakti Nirgunam Tattvam. The Bindu is considered as Nirguna Tattva Sarvasya Adhishtanam. Apart from all the material cause, there is the Adhishtana, that is Bindu, that is considered as the very substratum of all things that are there in this world, all the 30 of them. And Nadaha Tasyeva Pranavatmana Sarvartha Sporagatvena Abhivyaktam Swarupantaram. Nada is considered as the vibrating power or vibrating sound, so to say. Pranava Atmana as Om. Tasyeva Pranava Atmana, that very same of Ishwarasya eva pranava atmana as the self, as Om, sarvartha sporagatvena, as throbbing, as energy, abhivyaktam, as to come to manifest, swarupandaram, within itself. So Om is considered as the divine energy that is capable of bringing about the manifestation. And that is the Nada. Now this Nada, the sound, according to Devi Bhagavatam, if you go detail into that, they talk about how the Nada permeates the entire universe. There is a totally different text and discussion on that. Hinduism, one lifetime is not sufficient. Seriously speaking, many lifetime necessary to understand the intricacies of this gamut of knowledge. So the Nada is considered as the vibrating power. And then Shaktihi Maya Avidyabhyam Anya. Shakti is not Maya. Shaktihi Maya Avidyabhyam Anya. Sarva Adhishtana Samarthyam. It is capable of supporting everything. Sarva Adhishtana Samarthyam. So Maya is only one aspect of Shakti. You cannot say Maya equal to Shakti or Shakti equal to Maya. Maya is only a creative power which is coming out of Shakti. And that is how Saiva Siddhanta holds the view. Shiva hai Shaktiman. Shiva is Shaktiman, the one who has the Shakti. Ishvara hai Leela Vigrahadari. He is the one who can assume any form according to his will. Leela Vigrahadari. So out of which Bindu, Nada, Shiva and Shakti are all added. Now Shanta Atito Tasya Eva Avastha Visheshau. Shanta and Atita are also two aspects added by the Saiva Siddhanta, which are all another powerful aspects of Shiva or Ishvara. Yeah. So therefore, param etaihi shattimshat tattvam iti Shaiva Agama Visharadaihi Uktam. This way, there are 6 more added. So 36 aspects are given by the Saiva Siddhanta. Now, having explained all these things, Sarve Kalpana. All these are all merely, so long as we consider the world as real alone, all these discussions are. Vedanta will pull the carpet now. Itna baat kiya. This many discussions have taken place. Sankhyan system, Vaisheshika system, Shaiva Siddhanta, Purana, Idiha, everything. Now you see, Sarvesham api vikalpanam Maya Vilasa Rupatvam. All these are all Maya Vilasa, play of Maya. Sarve Vikalpa Pragasan Bijeng Kura Ivatmani Icha Jnana Kriya Rupa Mayaya Te Vijrumbitaha. Sarve Vikalpaha. All these various manifestations, Prag Asan, Prag before, Asan was, Bije Ankuraha Iva, like the sprout which was found inside the seed. Atmani, in the self. Atmani prageva asan, sarve vikalpaha atmani prageva asan, bije ankuraha iva. All things were, potential manifestations were already there in the self, like the sprout which was inside the seed. Then what is that which has made that possible into this world? Mayaya Vijrumbitaha. Mayaya Vijrumbitaha. By the Maya alone, everything is manifested or made to manifest. What is this Maya? According to Vedanta, Maya is 3 expressions of Brahman. Ishvara, sorry. Brahman is not one who was Karta here. So Ishvara has got 3 powers. What are those? Ichcha, Jnanam, Tata, Kriya. Ichcha, desire. Jnanam, knowledge. Kriya, activity. Ichcha, Jnana, Kriya, Rupa, Mayaya. The Maya in the form of desire, knowledge, and action. Te Vijrumbitaha. Te Vikalpaha Vijrumbitaha. All the manifestation happened. Yaihi taihi tairtikaihi ye vikalpaha kritaha. Te sarve ekasyeva parabrahmanaha maya vilasaha. Parabrahmanaha maya vilasaha. All these are all none other than the play of the Maya alone of Brahman. Na paramarthaha. They are not absolute. The Vedanta standpoint is the entire creation is a manifestation created by the power of the Ishvaraha with that is Maya, and that Maya is of Ichcha, desire, Jnanam, knowledge, Kriya, activity. Iti bijasyantarivanguraha iti anena uchyate iti shrotam matam anusarati. Shrotam matam, Shruti matam, anusarati. Shruti matam means according to the scriptures. The statement made by Shankaracharya here, that first line, Bijasyantarivanguraha, is not in contrast with the Shruti Vakya. Sarve vikalpaha iti. All of them are vikalpaha. Vikalpaha means an imagination which found real until questioned. Kalpa, vikalpa. We cannot say imagination, really speaking. It is illusion. See, the difference between imagination and illusion is, imagination oneself creates knowingly. Illusion is, it is there until you question, you cannot find out it is true or not. That's a difference. Imagination is, one creates knowing it is imagination. But illusion is not self-created. It is already there. And unless you inquire, it will not go away. So here, it is illusion, and that we live in that illusion. Until we inquire, it won't go away. This is, see, when, and the other day I was discussing on this subject. Wo moksha ka ichcha kya hai? What is mumukshutva? Deep desire to inquire the reality of what I experience, leading to freedom from it. That is moksha ichcha. Moksha mein bhuyadid ichcha mumukshuta. That is simple definition. एक किससे मोक्ष होना चाहिए आपको? आपका इच्छा क्या है? मोक्ष होना किससे? ये जो what you are thinking as real, unless you know it is not real, or unless you doubt it is real, you will never have a desire to get out, isn't it? या आपको नहीं मालूम है ये false है. If it is not real, if you don't know that it is not real, will you have any intent to get out of it? If you think it is real, then will you be able to get out of it? So the desire won't come. So विवेक बुद्धि की किसके लिए चाहिए? जो जिसका इच्छा है. One who has a desire alone can start the viveka. Inquiry. Vichar also then only starts. Okay, so here you say Ichcha Jnana Kriya Rupa Maya. What is Kriya? Kriya is Prayatna, effort. Ichchadibihi Nirupyate Itiva. What is that which fulfills the desire is called Kriya. What is desired getting fulfilled is called Kriya. Yata kaschit kavihi kavyamichaya prameyam kalpayitva vicharayati tada ishvaraha api tattva drishyadi rupam astaya tattat agama nirmanam karoti. Just like a poet who is first thinking, desiring about a concept, an idea, and then accordingly he would create the kavyam. Just like a person who is, let us say, a story writer, he thinks about a plot first. After thinking about a plot, he starts write the script. Yata kaschit kavihi, some poet, kavyam ichchaya, to create a kavyam, desire to create a kavyam, prameyam, what is to be thought of, what is to be created, kalpayitva, having imagined, vicharayati, things, tata, in the same way, ishvaraha api, the Lord also, tat drishyadi rupa astaya, having assumed the form of all the perceivable things, tat agama nirmanam karoti. He creates what he has imagined himself as the world. Kinchit jnanat yadadrishtam loke vedecha anusandaya karoti. And that requires jnanam. Kinchit jnanat yatadrishtam, whatever is conceived in his mind by him, loke vedecha anusandaya, having considered the loka, the world, and the Vedas, karoti. So, another example, yata Veda Vyasadi Rupena Mahabharatadin Grantan. Just like the Veda Vyasa had created the Mahabharata literature, that is also Bhagavan only. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave. Namo Vai Brahmanitaye Vasishtaya Namo Namah. See, when Vyasa started to think, I have to think about the Parama, what are the four Purusharthas, and why Dharma is the Pradama Purushartha. Why Dharma is important in both acquirement of wealth and enjoyment thereof. That is the Loke Avashakam. Loke Avashakam Kamascha Vittamcha. Tat Kamascha Vittamcha, both the desire as well as the means to achieve the desire needs a correct means to achieve them. Therefore, dharma is important. So when he thought about dharma, and he wanted to make sure that how dharma always wins. Yata dharma tata jaya. And to establish this truth, its own family, after all, its own grandchildren, right? Kauravas and Pandavas are all its own grandchildren. Because both Pandu and Dhritarashtra are its own child, its own sons only, after all. How conflict of dharma takes place and how dharma finally wins. Therefore, dharma eva jayati. This is to be established. So, based upon that basic concept, he started. So, jnanam of the dharma is necessary for him to start that. Desire to create a kavya. What is that I have to establish? Jnanam, dharma alone, jayati. Now, that is a jnanam. Based upon the jnanam, he did the kriya of creating this Mahabharata. So in the same way, Bhagavan Ishvaraha desired all right. Desiring for what? Desiring for the world, to create a world, and that world that is created should be establishing what is established in the Shruti. Because after all, there is a constant cycle going on. So therefore, Shruti is already there. It's not that Shruti was not there. Based upon what is established as the truth, I have to create the world accordingly. It is not the world was created and then Shruti came afterwards. No. The reality, the truth was already before. So that's why he said, Vede cha anusandaya karoti. Kinchit prayatnena api. But at the same time, even though Vyasa, etc., they had to literally do prayatna to create the kavya, but Ishvaraha na prayatnena karoti. Prayatnena karoti means kriya is there, but not out of any exhaustion or exertion. Kinchit prayatnena api. Yata Maharajadirupena Mahanagara Durgadi Kalpayati Sa Eva Ishvaraha. Just like a king, when he wanted to create roads or bridges to across the river, all that he has to do is to command. Let that happen. Then people are there to work. In the same way, Ishvaraha merely by a sankalpa. Tata mayaya sahaja shakti rupaya anirvachaniyaya te purvoktaha kalpana prakaraha tena ishvarena vijrumbitaha prakatitaha. Therefore, all these are all created by the Lord by his own willingness, with no physical effort by him, have been created. For after all, it is not real, right? Therefore, he says, na paramarthaha. It is not absolute reality. So, from the standpoint of the Ishvaraha, all the entire creation is nothing but illusion. Though, as for us who would not understand that it is all the mind of the Lord, we'll consider that as true, real, absolute. As I said in the last class, I think we are living in the Ishvara's dream. Bhagavan's dream is where we are living. Interesting, right? When we are living in Bhagavan's dream, what happens? When do we wake up? When he wants us to wake up. Because he's the one who is dreaming here. So interesting, Bhagavan, please wake up. Because only when you wake up, we will be out. But when we don't want to wake, we do not want him to wake up, Because if he wakes up, I and you, the entire world will disappear. So what he does is, he will not wake up all of a sudden. He will only take out only some characters out of this dream. Those Mahatmas. You people get out. It's like playing a chess game, Come on, get out all these people. You are not part of it anymore. I don't need you. Or it's better you get released. Whenever I want, I'll bring you, but now it's not necessary. So, na paramartaha. Yair yata varnidam jagat tattvam tata eva chet paramartam. Tarhi vadinam vivadaha nasyat. Drishyate chasaha. Drishyataha na paramartha kalpana idi bhavaha. Vimatam pragutpattehe naishwarat paramartataha pradak sat. Tadaha atyanta atyanta vivikta lakshanatvat. Yadevam tadevam yata bijavasta ankuraha iti. Now, interesting point here is that if the world is real, yair yata varnidam jagat tattvam tadeva chet. The world is as it is experienced by us alone, then it cannot be paramartha, right? Absolute cannot be contradicting each other. Absolute means it is of a homogeneous one. Therefore, it says, Tarhi vadinam vivadaha nasyat. Then there will not be any argument about this in creation. But that is not so. Drishyate cha saha ityataha na paramartha kalpana iti bhava. Whatever is perceived, one should understand it as merely from the standpoint of the senses alone, there is variety. As I have explained to you before, a flower, if you take, a flower has smell, touch, taste, sound, form. Now, even each of the senses individually, they are able to comprehend the flower. Their own limited understanding of the flower is only limited to what they perceive. Like that 6 blind men touching the elephant. And each one of them say, that whatever I say, it is only true. In the same way, each of the senses would say, whatever they experience alone is the flower. But what is flower? As we know, is a comprehensive, it's a inclusive of all the 6, all the 5 senses, so to say. That is flower, not smell alone, taste alone, touch alone, sound alone, form alone. So what is absolute? Absolute cannot be comprehended. Whatever we comprehend based upon only our vada. With the limited understanding of our perception alone is the vada. See, that alone, that by itself cannot be absolute. So, the point here is, if the contrary, vimatam, pragutpattehe na ishwarat, paramartataha pratak sat, tataha atyanta vivikta lakshanatvat, yadevam tadevam yada bijavasta ankura iti. So before the creation, there is no concept of the creator Ishvara. And the Ishvara is a power that has come to manifest along with the Maya to make the creation possible. Therefore, the example that is given here is that just like the sprout was present within the seed, and if you look at the seed, will you see the sprout? You cannot see the sprout, right? In the same way, word was inherent in Brahman, but can you see it in that way? Until it is manifested. And when it is manifested, and different standpoints or different vadas. So who can tell us what was there before? Only he can tell us. Bhagavan alone can tell us. That is why it is said in Gita also, when Bhagavan says, before me, nobody knows me in the 10th chapter, nobody knows me before. Why? Because everybody was created by me only. And none of them will come to know me until I say it. Now, what is the Icha, Jnana and Kriya? Jagat Brahmanoho Aikyam Sarvakalikam. That is explained in this Icha. So, taken for granted that this creation is there, and that is due to the three powers of Icha, Jnana and Kriya. And if it has all come from the Lord, whose powers alone have created this, everything is Lord only then. Icha Jnana Kriya Purvaha Yasmat Sarva Pravrittayaha Sarvepi Jantavastasmat Ishvara Yidi Nischitaha. Ishvarat Jagataha Prutaktva Abhavam. Ishvarat Prutak. Different from him, Ishvaraha, Jagat is not possible. Ishvara Jagataha Prutaktva Abhavam. Utpattehe Prag Avastayam Upabadya. Having taken up the what is that creation before the creation, what it is, Sthiti avastayam api tat upapadayati icha jnana iti. Before the creation, out of the kriya shakti of the Lord started, what was there before that was icha and jnana. Before the creation, what was there with Ishvara was icha and jnana, desire and knowledge. Yasmat sarvesham sarvaha pravrittayaha Icha Jnana Kriya Purvaha Tasmat Sarvebi Jantavaha Ishvara Eva Iti Nischitaha. Because before the creation, the creation being the manifestation of the powers of Lord in the form of Icha, Jnana and Kriya, before the creation, he alone was, and therefore whatever is there after the creation also he alone is. See, when a person is creating a pot, the pot thought was there before the pot was made. The thought of the pot was already there in the mind of the potter. And the knowledge of how to make the pot was also already there in the pot maker. And let us say, in this case, Ishvaraha, the clay is also himself. So the clay, the material cause also was him only. Now, when the material cause is used by the potter, clay, and he creates the clay pot, the thought of the pot has made the pot possible. The skill about doing the pot is also made the pot possible. And the clay that was used made the pot possible. Now, all the three put together is a pot. This here. Now, in the case of a pot, you don't see the pot maker in that. The nimitta karan is not found in the pot. We can only see the upadana. If the nimitta karan also here, what do you see in the pot? Him alone. Clay is he, pot is he. And the potter is also he. So, Icha, Jnana and Kriya Shakti Rupa Mayaya Yat Kritam Jagat Ishvarat Abhinna. It is non-different from the Ishvara, in all aspects. As a desire, as a knowledge, as an action, nothing but himself. Therefore, Sasmad Ishvaraha Nirnischitaha Jant Sarvebi Jantavaha. All beings are what? Sarvebi Jantavaha Ishvaraha iti Nischitaha. All beings are Ishvara. That's why Bhagavan Krishna says, Ishvara sarva bhutanam ritteshe Arjuna tishtati. The Lord alone is there in the heart of everyone. Patta parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya. Mayi sarvamidam protam sotre manigana iva. Everything is pervaded by me like the thread that pervades or goes through all the maniganas. So, Maya tadamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matstani sarva bhutani. Everything is included in me. Icha jnana prayatnana maya shakti balitati ishvarakya yat anyatra acetaneshu anupapattehe paropadibeda paramarthamantarena swatah achetana bede pramana abhavat. Icha jnana prayatnanam, by the effort or in the form of Icha, Jnana and or the powers Icha, Jnana and Kriya, Maya Shakti Bala Valitati Ishvara Ishvara Akyat, what is known as the owner of this or the wielder of this knowledge, Ishvara, Anyatra Achetaneshu Anupapattehe. So, now what do we call it as Achetanam, Jadam? There is a discussion on this in Panchadashi also. Achetana vastu hai kya nahi? Meaning, is there a Jadam? So, Jada is from the standpoint of Buddhi only. Because there cannot be an object ever available to us which does not have Sat. Without the Sat aspect, there can be anything. Can there be a living entity or non-living entity present without the basic aspect of Sat? So, even what we call it as Jadam is also none other than Paramatma, the Ishvara only. A table or a chair or a pot or a stone is also Ishvara only. What is absent in a pot or a stone is the means to express Chaitanya, where you and I have that. So, and also understand, Satyahi Chit, Chittayahi Aham. So, Sat and Chit are not two different things. Sat alone is Chit. In the case of an inert object, it is unexpressed. Doesn't mean it is not there. Chit and Ananda is present even in Jada. See, this is the reason why when a temple is consecrated, it is a stone. But the form of the Lord is a stone. But then they do pradishta of prana. What is prana pradishta? Where the Mahatma who is coming to do the prana pradishta, or the mantras that are chanted according to Vedas, will bring in a subtle form of Sukshma Sharira to that form. And such subtle Sukshma Sharira, when it is invoked in that stone, it is a living entity. And that is why Trikala Puja is necessary. Food is offered. It is treated as a living entity because it is. When Sri Rama was walking, Ahalya was made to go into coma, so to say. Meaning, she's stone-like. Her Sukshma Sharira did not leave. It was there. But ability to express the Chaitanya and Ananda was absent. Just like a sleeping person or a person in coma. Bhagavan's dust of the feet invoked that Chaitanatvam there. Invoked the Sukshma Sharira. All those stories where we say Mahatmas have cursed a person to become stone or a tree, etc., that is alive. Only the Chaitana, that Sukshma Sharira is not fully present to express it. It's like a slumber state, a sleep state. And Bhagavan comes and then invokes that. It is not something came into it. It is woken up. Fully realizing that I have been cursed to remain in slumber. Just like a person in coma, when he wakes up, what does he understand? Where was I? I don't know. The last thing I know was I was cursed. I was brought into this bed, and after that, I don't know what happened. How many years over? I don't know. So when you go to a temple, when it is properly consecrated, properly done all the mantra japas, properly have done the pujas, it is a living entity. That's why it is so important. When there is a puja is not done, then once in a while it is, then it is not. When you are actually, if really Pranapadishta is not done and then puja is not properly done with mantras, then obviously that power to the Chaitanatva is gone. But Paramatma is still there only. It cannot be like any other object, will be there. Now, so para upadi beda paramarshamantarena swataha chetana bede pramana abhavat. Chetana bede pramana abhavat. Chetane, in the consciousness, there is no division. So the division is only on the upadi. The tall and the short and the big and the small, color, form, name, and various aspects of the physical, they are all not belonging to consciousness. The consciousness means the Paramatma Tattva that is there. There is no difference at all in that. Sarva jantunam siddham. Therefore, it is always established. Ishwarad abhinnatvam. They are all non-different from the Ishvara, the Lord. Only the Upadi Beda, but that makes us think that one is Chetana, one is alive, another is inert, one is big, another is small. All these are all subject to the appearances, but not in the respect to the Chetanatvam. That Ishvara, the Chetana Swarupa Paramatma, is always there, and nothing in this world is devoid of him. Tadacha tad gachade tad gate ichchadehe maya mayatvad tan nimittasya sarvasyabi prapanchasya yuktam Mayamayatvam idi bhava. Therefore, other than that, anything else that we see is none other than the creation of Maya. Other than the Ishvaraha in every object that we see is Mayamayatvam. So everything that every being, every inert thing also, nothing but Ishvaraha. And if at all anything we see other than that, that is Mayamayatvam. That is why Maya Kalpita Desha Kala Kalana. What is it? Vaichitra Chitri Kritam. This Vichitratvam, Nana Nama Rupatvam. That is Maya Kritam. Now the question is, Icha Matram Prabhoho Srishti Samharo. Desire or thought alone is the creation and dissolution of the Lord. Icha Matram Prabhoho Icha Matram Srishti Samharo. Creation and dissolution. Bichat vrikshattaror bijam. Paramparyena jayate. Idi shanka nivrityartam. Yogi drishtanta kirtanam. Vishwamitradaya purve. Paripakvas samadayah. Upadanopakarana prayojana vivarjitaha swechaya susruju sargam sarvabhogopa brahmhitam Ishvaro nanta shaktitvat Swatantro jnanapekshataha Svecha matrena sakalam Srijatyavati hanti cha. The creation, if it is real, then the infinite regress problem would come. The problem of the dosha of anavastha dosha, it's called. Anavastha dosha. There is no end. Infinite regress. Repeat itself. What? Bijat vrikshaha. From the seed is a tree. Taroho bijam. From the tree again seed. Paramparyena jayate. It continuously, one after another, it will continue. Idi shanka nivrityartam. To remove this doubt, yogi drishtanta kirtanam. The use of the statement Maya viva vijrumbayati abhimaha yogi vayasvechaya. Mahayogi iva. Who is a Mahayogi here? Vishwamitradaya. People like Vishwamitra, Purve, in the past, the story goes that when Trishanku wanted to go to the heaven with the body, and he was rejected by Indra, because with the body you cannot go. That is not allowed inside the. As soon as he entered the immigration center, they said, remove the body and come. He said, no, you have to renounce the body. No, I cannot. I don't want to. So this is sent back. So then he came back and then went to Vasishta saying that this is the case, what do I do? Vasishta, that's the rule. You cannot go with the body. So he got very vexed and said, no, what is the power you have got? You cannot send me. You are considered as the Brahma Rishi and you cannot do this to me? He said, I oblige to the law. I obey to the law. So I cannot do any transgression of that. Then he went to Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra is a Paramavari of Vasishtha. So he went to Vishwamitra and said the same thing. So I want to go with the body. He said, no. You are also saying no. What do you mean you are also? Who else said this to you? Vasishtha. Vasishtha said no. Yes. Then yes. Create that, enemy's enemy is your friend, So he said, if Vasishtha said no, I will say yes. Okay, that's what he wanted. Okay, try. So he sent to heaven and Indra rejected him. He got so angry with him. You are rejecting my candidate? I put such a recommendation letter and you're still rejecting it? Yeah, we cannot allow this. If you can't allow heaven, I create a heaven for him. Okay, do whatever you want to do. You have your choice. So with his power, by the mind, he created a world. And that is called Trishanga Swarga. Where Trishanga could go to that place with the body. But everything was, different. Though the same kind of Swarga, Bhogas were there, and that's why Guruji used to say, आप चाय वाय पियोगे, that why है ना, वो त्रिशंगु स्वर्ग का है. कापी वापी पियोगे, that वापी is त्रिशंगु स्वर्ग. खाना पीना, खाना वाना, so the vana belongs to त्रिशंगु स्वर्ग. खाना belongs to स्वर्ग or vana belongs to this. So Vishwamitra Purve Paripakva Samadaya. Those have gained great perfection, absolute perfection. Upadana Upakarana Prayojana Vivarjitaha. Devoid of what? Upadana, material cause. Upakarana, instrument. Their Prayojana, usage, Vivarjitaha. Without the usage of material cause and instruments, he was able to create a world for Trishanku. Wow, how? Swaichaya. I just thought of it. Susrujuhu created Swargam. Sarvavoga Upa Vrumhitam. It replete with so much of sensuous, various kinds of objects of pleasure. He created them. So that is why he says, Maya viva vijrimbayatyaveva yogiva yat sve ichaya. If Vishwamitra as a rishi could create it, he the one who created the rishi. In chapter 10 also he says, I create the rishis, I created the devatas. So I am much before them. Ishvaraha ananta shaktitvat. One who has infinite power, swatantraha, anyan apekshataha. By his own power with no other need for anything else. Swaichha matrena, by his own icha, sakalam, all srijati, avati, hanti. Creates, sustains, ends. End also is icha only. Creation is also icha, protection is also icha, and our end also is out of his icha. It doesn't move from 1 inch from where he is. So, tasya kartaram abhimam vidhi akartaram avyayam. मैं करता है भी हूं, अकर्ता भी हूं. कर्ता में इच्छा मात्रेण कर्ता. हाँ, कर्मणा न अकर्ता. Karmana akarta. I'm not doing anything, but doing. So here, Nanu bija ankurayoriva jagad ishwarayoho yadi karya karanata tada vriksha bija vyakti anantyavat ishwara jagat vyaktya anantyam bhaved. So if you think that it is bijasya ankuraha means, then it will come to infinite regress. Bija vriksha bija vyakti anantyavat. So therefore, the statement like na jayate mriyate va vipaschit avikaryo yam achyute, these are all from Uchade. These are all from second chapter. Idi Shruti Smriti Virodat. Avikari Atma. If avikari Atma, then how can it be moving from vriksha, bija to vriksha and vriksha to bija, etc.? Tasmat ayam drishtanta anupapannaha. One would say your bijasya antarivankara is not a correct, way of saying what actually happened. Therefore, idi ashankam udbhavya, this doubt will come in the mind of the people. Therefore, yogi drishtantena pratyachaste. Therefore, explanation is given in the second line saying that even though one should understand. So the example of bijasya ankura means only to understand that it was potentially in him, not that he created like, because once the vriksha comes into being, you will not see the bija there. The bijam has become the vriksha, right? So bija is lost. In that way, Brahman is not lost in this world. The example is given to show that it was potentially in him unmanifest. Don't take the literally that of the example. If you take that, then just like when the ankura comes to start to sprout, the bija which created the ankura disappears. Disappear means what? You can't see it. To avoid this also, and also infinite regress will take place, then from the vriksha came the bija, from bija the vriksha, the bija. So to avoid that, that's why he gives the next example, yogi drishtanta. Just like a Mahayogi, bija didi. So yogi drishtanta tatparyam udaharanena spashtayati vishwamitradeya iti. That's why the example is given of Vishwamitra, who created out of his own thought. Drishtanta dashtantika lokartaha spashtaha. So this is how the creation is to be explained. In that way, this particular verse is showing the Ichamatra Srishti. The Srishti is only by the desire of the Lord, by merely his thought, not any real action. All right, we'll see now. In the next few verses, he will conclude this chapter, this verse, and he will introduce the next verse. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo